Going around children getting concussions on the sporting field, sparking changes to the way the NRL deals with head knocks. Currently, they're assessed by a medical professional who decides whether a concussion has occurred.
If a concussion is confirmed, a 6-step process will be completed to get them back on the field, including gradually increasing training before their return. Now, the South Sydney Juniors are set to lead the way by implementing some of the game's most rigorous protocols for players using new technology. NRL star Mario Fenech's brother Stephen and neurophysio Professor James McLaughlin join us here in the studio. Thanks so much for your time.
Guys.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Guys, now, Professor, this is a bit of a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as the headlines have been coming around concussion lately, a lot has been emerging in the proactive things we can do for concussion. And now technology is emerging to make our job easier in terms of assessing people both at baseline, after that concussion, and also as we're tracking their recovery.
There are a lot of people out there who get concerned about this age-based sporting categories. And it's effectively where you can have a kid who's developing faster in an age group that might mean that someone who is reduced weight or not quite as physically developed involved in tackling that can cause a concussion of some kind. Do you agree with that?
Look, I think there is some logic to say you could group children at the same size, same abilities, but then also logistically that's a difficult thing to do. And also I think we have to accept that concussion's actually an injury that just does occur, and the fact that we are managing it better means I think we can be a little bit more optimistic about the future of concussions and the risk factors that's involved as well.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the issues here are, it's not just rugby league, obviously. I mean, you've got AFL who's concentrating on it, at a junior level, more aware of it. But even in soccer, heading a ball can produce that kind of thing. So it's across the board. There doesn't seem to be one particular solution, though.
No, that's right. Like for soccer, for example, they have the repeated small head knocks because they're heading the ball. So a player at training may head the ball up to 30 or 40 times. Overseas, they're looking at doing things like, don't head the ball at under 12 level and not till later. That does, creating these blanket rules does create other issues. Like, for example, we know that your anticipatory head reactions and stuff can be a little bit delayed after a concussion, but you also need to have the coordination and the ability to execute these things well. So that also reduces your risk of probably getting a concussion.
And we are obviously getting more of an understanding of the flow-on effects of concussion as well. Stephen, your brother Mario now has dementia because of repeated head knock effects. Do you think that this technology would have helped prevent that in any way?
Absolutely. I really wish this technology had existed when he and I were playing. It would have given him a better picture of his brain health. So the idea of the technology is to do the test to establish what your healthy brain looks like. So you do the baseline with the NeuroFlex, so you know this is your score as your healthy brain. And then if there is a concussion, you do the test again, and you can then see the difference. And it's there in black and white. It's objective data. It's not open to interpretation. So that will then allow the club or the team to create a safe path to return to play. Unfortunately, when my brother was playing, it was a bit of a badge of honour to get up off the ground and to keep playing. And he wanted to play every week. He was one of the most competitive players in the NRL, my brother. And unfortunately, he's paying the price. So if he had this technology, he would have shown the state of his brain health, and they would have said, mate, you need another week or two before you come back on the field. That way his brain could have healed, gotten back to a normal state, rather than having the repeated knocks that is now, that damage is now permanent. So this would have been an absolute game changer.
Yeah, it's also about changing the mentality of players out there.
Excellent, guys.
So
lots to talk about. I mean, it's moved a long way, but still needs to go a lot further. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
We hope the NRL looks at this seriously.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Coming up,